We're going to share how to charge a shit ton of money for what you do.
Yes.
And this is what led to the whole high ticket thing, where I can charge $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 for a 9-week program, because it's not about the workouts. It's not about nutrition coaching. It's how to be an amazing coach and mentor.
And I think that's what this really comes down to, right? When we started this podcast, we talked about how to basically be able to charge a lot for a service. And this is what a high ticket mentorship really looks like.
Welcome to the Profit Lifestyle for Fitness Entrepreneurs podcast. My name is Scott Carpenter. I am a personal trainer turned multiple gym owner and investor who's already been through the rock bottom and near bankruptcy in the fitness business. But I've been lucky enough to come out the other side and have turned the profits of my fitness business into indestructible wealth. I'll be sharing the no bullshit strategies, tactics, and advice to win big in business and in life. So if you're a gym owner, a personal trainer, or an online coach who wants to make multiple six figures in take-home profit and have the freedom with your time to actually enjoy it, subscribe now to this podcast. This is the show for you. All right, everybody, welcome back to the Profit Lifestyle for Fitness Entrepreneurs. Today, obviously, I'm Scott Carpenter, got Andy Boymilla, and we're going to teach you.
I feel like you almost forgot to say your own name on that one.
I almost forgot my own name. And but we're going to share how to charge a shit ton of money for what you do.
Yes.
I mean, we're just whipping this together, right? I did a presentation for another group of gym owners for a mentor. He's like, hey, I've got this event coming up. Can you run a training for me? I'm like, I got a million different things. Let me share with the gym owners that you work with something that has completely radically changed my business. That's also it's so important and has so much impact for other people in their lives. And it's had such a huge impact on my life personally. And this is what led to the whole high ticket thing, where I can charge $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 for a 9-week program, because it's not about the workouts. It's not about nutrition coaching. It's how to be an amazing coach and mentor and change somebody's not just habits forever, but their identity. And because it's just crazy where people are like, okay, so you want me to sell this mentorship program? They're just coming in, working out 3 times a week and whatever I have, large group, semi, one-on-one. And then I meet with them weekly. I do an onboarding and then I meet with them weekly for like 30 minutes. And I can charge, say, $3,500 for a 9-week program. Like, how the hell does that work? How is it even worth that? And so I want to pull back the curtains and explain how you can deliver an amazing mentorship that not only is it worth that kind of money, and you know it and they know it, but they are happy to renew this into a 6 to 12 month agreement that you're going to handle at week 6 in a conversation. And this has happened over and over and over and over. The people who learn these coaching and mentorship skill sets, they're like, holy shit. Yeah, no, I've got the keys to help change somebody's life. And that's what we all got in this business for.
Right, exactly.
But it's so hard to do because yes, the workouts are necessary, right? But whether your client or member gets ecstatic results and they're one of your best people, or whether they just stay the exact same and blame you for not changing, it really all depends on what they're doing outside of your 4 walls.
Mm-hmm.
How they're changing their habits for what they eat and what they do outside of there. That's the only difference. They're all doing the same workout in-house. And so it's the art of how do you become an amazing habit-based coach and mentor to help people make those changes outside of our lives. Because you can't just hand them a meal plan, slide it over, and have them eat chicken breast and broccoli and brown rice. That shit ain't working.
No,
okay?
I do like chicken, broccoli, and brown rice, but a lot of people get bored with that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And I mean, because we're different people. They're not going to become a meathead like you and I.
No.
They're not, right? And so, I first started coming across this it was even before Dr. John Berardi started up Precision Nutrition. ISSA had a specialist in fitness nutrition certification. I was still working at Lifetime as an employee at this point. And it introduced me to like habit-based coaching, right? And I'm like, okay, I see the power of that. When I kind of learned a little bit of that and the power of habits, I was able to sell more and retain more. Right? It did so well, right? And I got kind of obsessed with it. I went through many iterations. My early on 63-day transformation was very habit-based, kind of Dr. John Berardi Precision Nutrition. And it started to evolve too, right? And I kind of divided into the strength training versus the cardio sessions, then your nutrition, and we had habits and a habit tracker, and I got great results. But it started to evolve once I read Atomic Habits. That's something
It's a
that
good
is
book.
a huge bestseller. Yeah, everybody rants and raves about it, right? And it's kind of the three layers of behavior change. We want the outcome, the outer ring. And to get the outcome, we need to change our processes or our habits.
Right.
But that's only short term unless we kind of change our identity, right?
That is a
And
big step.
that's a big step. And so, all the fitness professionals and entrepreneurs listening to this podcast, that is your identity. Fitness, health and fitness is a priority in your life. Yeah, we go through periods of waning motivation, right? Sometimes we're really motivated because we got a trip coming up. We want to look good, or we're going to do some photo shoots. And other times we're just maintaining. But like, you have become somebody that works out 3, 4, 5 times a week because it helps lead you to your best life, right? You are somebody who eats well 80 to 90% of the time because you don't want to be the fat ass with type 2 diabetes. You don't have to work that hard, right? It's not that big of a struggle because that's your identity. And so after reading Atomic Habits, this was kind of really when I brought the 63-day transformation into a thing. And I realized I need to start with the mindset and their big reason why they want to make a change. So I started doing a lot more of that work. I need to find out with this person I'm talking to, why is it so important that you change? How is it holding you back from living your best life? And if you can get to the why and find a bleeding neck issue, people will be open to actually changing their habits and identity. But you've got to make it like really important because it's just very easy to be surface level. Oh yeah, I'd like to, maybe lose a few pounds, mainly just want a healthier and blah, blah. They just avoid going into that pain, right? And the fact that like, I'm not confident when I go out socially. I'm not comfortable on my own skin. So if you can, now we're getting somewhere. But like,
right.
So that's the art of the sales. The sales process starts to peel back the layers of the onion. Get past these surface level, hey, I want to lose 10, 20 pounds. We peel back the layers. Well, I'm just really uncomfortable in my own skin right now. And like, then you get to it even further. It's like, I feel like a stranger in my own body. Like, I haven't felt like myself since college. This is like 13 years later. It could be, I'm just giving one example. Could be different, right? But you get to the why, right? So it's a lot of the mindset. That's where you connect to a strong, compelling reason why. Then they're malleable and they will change habits, right? And the art of habit change is where Atomic Habits, really came into play. I put this stuff in personally, not physically. Sure, I do things to stay in shape and all that kind of stuff. But mainly the habits that I choose to track after I read Atomic Habits were in who I wanted to be as a father, as a husband, how I wanted to grow in business, right? And I put in habits. What do I need to do every day and week to succeed in those areas? And I identified the core habits to move me along. I started this as a personal project and created this transformation tracker 5 years ago now, right? And the habits I've chosen to track have changed over time based on how I've done, who I need to become, and all that kind of stuff. But within a year or two, I became just a superhuman version of myself and what I was capable of. Because I did this coaching process on myself, right? I'd figure out, hey, what do I need to do every day and week to become the person I want to become? And at the end of the week, I did the review. What went well? Celebrate the wins. Where did I struggle to implement these habits? Based on where I struggled, what can I do to make it easier next week? Right? And I did that iterative over and over. And so this became the backbone of the high ticket process that we teach. We teach gym owners how to build, self-fulfill, and renew high ticket programs into their business, online or in person. Somebody sent me a book. I was teaching this at the Grand Rapids event with Matt Wilbur. And then I was teaching all this kind of stuff. And then somebody sent me a book. They're like, if you like Atomic Habits, I bet you will absolutely love Tiny Habits. It's by BJ Fogg. And he's like, I feel like it's a better book than Atomic Habits. I'm like, well, I'm definitely going to read it.
That's a bold statement.
That's a bold statement because I don't know how many million. I think it's like 20 some million copies of Atomic Habits have been sold.
Yeah.
Now, this was before that. And in fact, James Clear was a student. He went through BJ Fogg, the author of this book, Tiny Habits. He went through his program and stuff.
Oh.
But what I love about Tiny Habits, Atomic Habits, the concepts are like, oh shit, yes, I align with everything in here, right? But Tiny Habits breaks it down to a method.
Ooh.
So clear and so simple. You'll like this, just knowing how your brain works, very similar to mine. You'll love it. And I love models, right? But behavior is equal to motivation plus ability plus prompts. And there's a graph on here, and hopefully, Raj, you can throw this in for those watching on YouTube. Those listening, you can't see this, but if you see any videos, we'll probably flash up the FOGG behavior model. But on one axis, on the x-axis, you have something that's hard to do to easy to do. And then on the y-axis, you have motivation, whether it's high or low. And there's a curve that represents things are going to, what you're more likely to do, right? So if something is hard to do, your level of motivation needs to be really high in order for you to take action on it.
Right.
Right? It's common sense, right? You've seen this with a client who has, their doctor's like, shit, you're at risk of heart disease, or they've had a heart attack. Now their motivation is really high. They're willing to come in and do whatever the hell it takes, right? I had this with somebody who needed to meet a PT test for the Air Force. Motivation is super high. I literally put that person on like a beans, chicken breast, and vegetable diet. I'm like, because we had no time to spare. I'm like, you got 30 freaking days, or else you're blowing your scholarship. I'm going to have you eat this can I substitute? No. Like the cost, the risk is too high. No substitutions anywhere. That's like one person out of a 10,000 I could do that with, right? Because their motivation's super high. But here's the thing with motivation. It doesn't last ever. It's high, it's low, it's all over the place. It's dependent about what's going on in your life, business, personal, you name it. Your clients, they might come in motivated, but 2 months later, that shit can change, right?
Real fast.
Real fast. And so this is why restrictive diets don't change. Like they don't last. Nobody's motivation, if it's a very restrictive diet, meaning it's very hard to do, people will only do it when their motivation is high. And when it drops, it goes below the action line where they won't do it. And so at the other end, the other opposite is if you have something that's easy to do, you're more likely to do it whether you have high motivation or low motivation. If it's easy to do, it's far easier. And so we got to think about that, right? So let me give you a real life example. I hate cardio. Now, a lot of you, some of you freaks are like, you love it, right? But I can't stand cardio. I'm kind of more.
I am not that person. Nope.
It's boring. I could be on a treadmill like, oh my God, all right, okay, I'm doing all right, but I'm bored as shit. How long have I been? I've been on here for 3.5 minutes. Holy shit. I'm one of those guys, right? Can't stand to be on there. It's super boring. I can go from a Stairmaster to a treadmill to a whatever. And I'm like, kill me now, right? It's hard for me to do. So what I have to do is like, how could I make this easier? And some things are just one-off things. So first off, I wanted to do it for health. I'm not doing it for vanity. I'm 42. I've got 2 young kids. I'm reading more about that Dr. P.D. Attia's book, The Outlive, and I'm understanding really how. Yeah. So
we should do a podcast on that one.
Absolutely. That is a book you should have in your gym.
Yeah, I have it somewhere here.
You should give out or you should sell copies inside of your gym because you're going to link to a bigger why for your people and give them a bigger reason to keep coming in. Absolutely. It motivated me. And look what I do, right? So I realized, okay, I've got to do more cardio. But I can't tell you how many times I've told myself this over the years, right? Now I have a more compelling why. Great. But yeah, my motivation's high now, but what happens in 6 months when I've got all this stuff going? It's going to decrease, right? I'm not going to read the book Outlive every single 2 weeks for the rest of my life. So the question
is, how do you make cardio easy so that even if your motivation is low, you can still do it?
Exactly. Now I'm in a certain phase right now. So you want to look at like, how can we make it easier with time? How can we make it easier with physical effort, mental effort, you name it, right? So first off, I've got a lot going on right now in my life. going to the gym, just do cardio in the middle of it, like it's really hard, right?
Yeah.
It's really hard. So I'm like, let me make it easier. So I bought a Rogue Echo bike and it's over there in the corner of my office. I cut down on 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes to the gym, from the gym, even mustering up the mental effort to do it. Is I'm looking at it right now. It's in the corner of my eye, right? And so great. I made it easy. I cut down on time. It's right there. I have mental cues. I changed my environment. It's already so much easier. The second thing is when I put in my habits into my tracker, I've always done like, oh, we'll do 20 minutes a day or 30 minutes a day or 30 minutes 4 times a week or something like that. And it's just too much.
Mm-hmm.
So if we remember that BMAP, behavior change equals motivation plus ability plus prompts. So motivation, we need to make sure we can do it when it's high or low, right?
Yep.
And how the ability, how easy or hard is it to do? So I needed to make this easier. So instead of me doing, oh, I'll do 30 minutes 3 times a week, or I'll do whatever. I'm like, let me make this easy, because this is why we don't hardwire in habits. We don't hardwire in habits when they're difficult, right? You have habits whether you know it or not. When you walk home to an empty house or a dark house, you flip on the light switch, right? There's a cue or a prompt. If it's dark and I can't see, I just reach for the light switch. It's so hardwired, you don't even know, you don't think about it. Same thing, when you get up, you do certain things in the morning that you don't really have to think about. It's so hardwired in. And people are different, right? Some people eat first thing when they get up or have a cup of coffee, right? You don't have to like track it. Oh, make sure to have a cup of coffee in the morning, right? It's just hardwired. We want to get these things hardwired. And so how can we make it easy? And so I put the Rogue Echo bike in there, and then I want to attach it to a prompt. Because if it's just like, I'll do this sometime in the day, meh. But I also ran into scheduling things. My schedule is not always consistent day to day. So I built it around a prompt. I decided, so when I wake up, I brush my teeth, I pee, I go downstairs, I drink a glass of water. So that's my prompt. After I drink a glass of water, then I will do 60 seconds on that Echo bike.
There you go. Nice and simple and easy.
So there's a prompt. I've made it easy because I could start with, hey, I'm going to do 15 minutes. But some days, guess what? I'm not going to do 15 minutes. Some days I'm in a rush. I got to get to the airport. Maybe I'm not feeling well. Maybe I didn't sleep well. Maybe I had too much to drink. Whatever it is. Maybe I'm just feeling lazy and shitty. But what I did, I made it easy. I can do 60 seconds on that bike no matter what. And that's a win. And guess what? When I first got this in, I was literally doing like 3, 4, 5 minutes. Now I'm averaging 20 to 25 minutes a day. On my Oura ring, my cardiovascular health is now 6 years younger than my chronological age.
Nice.
I've actually dropped 3 to 4% body fat, not even trying. That's just a side effect within 2 months of this. And my resting heart rate is much better as well. But I made it easy, and I built a habit that's continuing to go. I also refined it further. So I ended up getting like a little laptop stand and zip tying it. So I watch, am I doing 20, 25 minutes now? Because I'll put on a show, a 30-minute show without commercials on Netflix or whatever, is 20, 25 minutes. I just get on there. It's not difficult anymore because I started so freaking small, tiny habits. That's it. And so what I realize is I'm starting to redo how I coach people and how I track, choosing the habits. So we want to pick easy habits to build on. Easy, right? And then I put them next to prompts. And this is where you help build it into your client's daily life, right? Where it's convenient for them and their schedule and their obstacles and their objections and what's difficult or easy for them, right? So you can build in these things and cue them in when you start to learn about their lives. And that's the whole essence of it. And so I've changed how I track my habits. I make sure I have the BMAP, make sure they're easy to do, they're simple, and there's prompts. It's set up during certain times of the day when I'm doing other things.
And I think that's what this really comes down to, right? When we started this podcast, we talked about how to basically be able to charge a lot for a service. And this is what a high ticket mentorship really looks like. I don't love using the word lifestyle coaching because it's a hot button term in the industry that really has no regulation. And there are some people out there that should not be advertising lifestyle coaching whatsoever. But this is a form, and probably one of the most effective forms, of actually coaching someone to a different lifestyle that helps to benefit them, right? And then
Yep.
at the end of the day, that's what people are paying for. We did another podcast just recently. We talked about your job is to solve a problem as a business owner. In high ticket coaching, in a high ticket service, in a mentorship program, you're solving the problem of walking somebody through how to change their life through tiny habits, because you make them, right, that they are accessible, that there are prompts attached to these things, that they can do them whether their motivation is high or low, that eventually 9 weeks, 12 weeks later, they turn around, they look at themselves and they go, I am a different person.
Yes.
That is a life-changing experience that people pay for. That's why these programs work, because it's not about just coming in and doing workouts. It's about literally having a coach in your back pocket that literally helps you walk through your daily life and make small changes over time that have a greater ROI than anything else you could do. That's why these programs are so powerful.
Absolutely. And guys, it's not just for your clients. Yeah, you can, like, man, when you learn how to do this well, and we teach you, right? And we teach how to build it into your model, man, it just changes the game. And it's you're helping people how you wanted to help them. Like when you first got into this business, typically.
Right.
Right. And it's awesome. And so here's kind of the 7-step habit change process. Number 1, figure out their aspirations, what they want to achieve and why they want to achieve it. Right. Number 2, you want to look at the different behavior options. Okay. What can we do to make this easy? That's also going to be effective. Number 3, identify those high impact, easy to do habits. Think tiny. That's the number 4. So start small. Start tiny, because it'll be sticky that way, and you'll hardwire these things in, and they will grow and develop, just like me hopping on for 60 seconds was the threshold, right? I started with literally 3, 4, 5 minutes. It was that bad. Now, just 2 months later, this thing is hardwired. I look forward to that. I watch something cool. It's just easy, right? So number 5, use prompts effectively, right? You need a cue or a prompt to engage that. Remember, when you're hardwiring a new thing, right? So I put it where it's really easy. I could get caught up in the middle of the day. I like to hang out with my kids when they come home from school, so I don't like it at the end of the day, right? All that kind of stuff. I just made it where's it easy, right? Number 6, you want to celebrate to wire in the habit. One great thing about having the habit trackers, you get immediate dopamine when you hit that checkbox on these trackers that we create, right? And then we celebrate at the end of the week, and we celebrate those wins too. And then number 7 is troubleshoot and integrate. So this is where those weekly check-ins come in. Celebrate the wins. Where'd you struggle? Hey, let's troubleshoot that. If it's really tough, maybe we picked the wrong thing, or we need a different prompt, or we got to put it in somewhere else, or that's too hard with what's going on right now. Shit blew up at work, or health stuff with family. We got to dial back. But you just troubleshoot and iterate. And every single day and week, you just reduce the friction to you doing these habits, and you just change who you are over a period of weeks. It's pretty awesome. It's very empowering.
Very.
So you can do this for you. You yourself as the business owner can really benefit. This all started because this was a personal development project for me. That then I'm like, you know what? I should do this with my clients and who I work with, right? So you can do this for you. You can do this for your clients. You can also do this for your staff, right? What actions on a daily and weekly basis does your staff need to do in their different roles to succeed in their job and in their life? And you can even coach them and do this, and you'll be an amazing leader. It'll create an amazing culture, and you'll make sure the things that need to be done in your business are done if you're willing to do this. So anyways, this is kind of like the backbone of high ticket mentorship. And again, this is why something's worth $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000, whether it's in person or virtual, period. And this is what we love teaching too. Anyways, thought I'd share that, because this Tiny Habits book, and all you legitimately have to do, guys, is read the first 3 or 4 chapters on it. That's it. You don't even need to read the rest of the book. You'll learn how. You'll be like, oh shit, okay. And then we kind of integrated this into our transformation tracker and our system. And it's pretty awesome. Yeah, shout out to who sent me that book, Stephen Hadley. Thank you. Appreciate it, because it's a lot like, if you liked Atomic Habits, you'd love this book. And then you need to learn how to charge for doing this kind of thing. It's the next step. All right. I think that's about it. That's what I wanted to share today.
But, yeah, I think that was great.
You know, when you work with a few people and help them, I know you get a little bit of imposter syndrome if you sign somebody up for, say, a $3,500 9-week, 12-week program, and you're going to coach and mentor them through this. Yeah, it can be uncomfortable if you've never done this stuff before. But if you really want to help people change, you do this, and then you will see they'll get better, fast results than anybody else you've worked with. You're like, holy shit, this is exactly what I had in mind when I wanted to change lives. I'm actually doing it now for real. So the money's great, guys, but we all got in this business for a bigger reason than the money. There's a lot of other industries we can make easier money. We chose
100%.
And this is how you can really do it. So anyways, hope that was helpful. Yeah, thank you for listening. Tune in next week to the like, subscribe, share thing. And I want to see you here in Scottsdale. So take care, guys, and we'll see you soon. Listen, if you're stuck and could use some advice in your business, whether you're just starting out, a veteran in the business, or expanding online or into multiple locations, you can hop on a free call with us to pick our brains at ptlegends.com/one-on-one call. You can see that in the show notes. That is with numbers. Chances are we'll be able to help you get some clarity on what you need to do specifically in your business to get to the next level. It's not a sales call. We'll connect you with the right resources to help you solve your problems. But if you want to learn more about working with us, that's cool too. We can share that information should you want it. So book your call now to get out of the rat race before your week consumes you, which is easy to do at ptlegends.com/one-on-one call. That's with the number 1 on the number 1 call. You can find this in the show notes. See you soon.